Hey there, bestie. I'm Laura Me, your What to Read Next podcast host. Join me as we dive into exciting new reads that'll have you reaching for your TBR pile in no time. From group and mysteries to spicy romances, we'll explore it all and help you find your next favorite book. So grab a cup of tea, cozy it up, and let's discover some amazing reads together. Welcome to the What to Read Next podcast. I am so excited to be back, and I am so happy to share this special episode with you. As you may not know, I actually do have a live show every Thursday night from 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 8-ish o'clock, or sometimes a little early, sometimes a little bit longer, depending on the conversation, with my besties Victoria and Francesca. Our show is called A Novel Night, and it's an episodes where we do recommendations, we chit chat about like bookish news, bookish tea, and everything in between. So recently we did an episode about secret societies and Greek life, and I decided, let's just share some of those recommendations with you because they're so good. In this episode, we're chatting about Greek life. We have recommendations for romance, fiction, nonfiction, and everything in between. So if you're curious about sororities and fraternities, if you've been clocked in with Bama Rostock or anything in between, this episode is for you. And Laura here, just letting you know that the audio for the episode, it's a little bit funky, so I am so sorry. I love the content, so I'm going to put it on, but the audio itself is a little funky. I used the wrong microphone, so I am so sorry. If you want to watch the video, go to my YouTube channel, What to Read Next blog. The video is available there. You can watch it perusal, and you can listen to Victoria's and Francesca's recommendations about secret societies, college books, and everything in between. So now let's get to the episode.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Novel Nights. I'm Victoria.
And I'm Laura.
And we're missing our third. Francesca is not here with us. She is traveling. But today we're super excited to be talking about all things college books, secret societies, and just all the vibes. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, let us know in the comments what are some of your favorite college books set at colleges, secret societies, and just all the good things. So again, let us know in the comments your favorite books and stay tuned. Laura, let's do your recommendations.
Awesome. So I'm going to focus on, we're going to talk a little bit about secret society, but the reality is that book is not Greek life, because the other secret society that most universities have, not all of them, but most of them do. So a little bit of background. I think I shared about this last week. I used to work at college. I've done pretty much everything student affairs in a college except resident life. However, for a stint of 6 weeks, I was a house mom at a sorority house. I'm also a member of a sorority, so it's a different ballgame than the regular candlelight sorority. So I'm pretty knowledgeable about Greek life. And in my 20s, I was like consuming anything Greek life because I wanted to know, did they get it right? Did they get it wrong? What does it mean? What are the stereotypes? And all the fun stuff. So I know a little bit of everything from Greek life purpose, but the first two are thrillers. So Say That's Till We Die. I just got this on, so I haven't read it. I'm not sure if this is a historical black sorority. I think it is. I'm thinking it, but it's similar to the name of the sorority murder, which we'll talk about afterwards. But essentially, one sister dies. 10 years later, the sorority sisters meet up to have a connection to remember her sister. And the guy who's supposed to kill the sister actually was put in prison. And then at the beginning, one of the sisters disappears or gets to be less. So it's supposed to be like an interesting, like murder mystery, like thriller, moving around with sororities and like a love night sorority, which is really different because then, give you big sororities is that you're a sister for life. You're not just like one time and that's it. You just like you be adaptive and stuff like that. You're always going to be a sister. As part of Greek life, what will happen is like you become interested, then you become initiated, you learn about the rituals and secrets and like what does everything mean. It's very like it's sometimes like very dumb, but sometimes it's like very meaningful, like the history of about sorority and all this sort of things. So you're always going to be a sister. It's like you have this idea of connection beyond 5 years. So I'm interested to read this book. It's bumping it out. I'm like excited for it. For what to come. So that's Say That's Till We Die. I think it comes out this fall. So the next book is Sorority Murder, which is what this book is. The first book is being compared to. It's another about that sorority sister. So I'm like, they're killing sorority sisters and moving to that. And a guy who's obsessed with this murder finds extra evidence. And then he went to the detective, so it's like, yeah, for evidence came about like similar, like can she open this murder? And they were like, no, we're not gonna do this. So he decided to start a podcast, a puppet, on more over real. Like it's getting to know the sorority murder, getting the podcast to your front mind, all trying to solve what happened to the sorority system. So that's the sorority murder. So if you like some thrillers, these are two quick like split thrillers. Now, if you've been watching TikTok in the past 4 years, you're probably aware of all the rush talk of like, OTT VAs and like what they have to work for midday, what they have to work for like, I don't know, like prep night and all these different things. So the next book is Rush by Lisa Patton. It's a woman's fiction, commercial fiction about a sorority in Ole Miss. So it's a summer sorority, which is like a whole day. You cannot compare each sorority from stuff. But what was a whole about the rush period, which is basically the week before school starts or week before you actually become initiated, you rush. You go to different houses or to different sororities. Some sororities may have houses, some sororities may have like just a meeting room. The group of people you'll get to meet with them, you get to connect with them, you get to figure out like, are we a good match? Is it not just you decide whether they match, so it's not decide if you're a good match for that. Are you that's fighting away? So that's why it's interesting watching flash talk, because you're like, did she get the ball that you wanted? Did she fit that house? Because there's a lot of stereotypes. We'll talk about that later on. So watching about almost similar to Watch Talk, basically, there's a whole ball game of Alvy. It features a freshman who is going for the Watch Board, an alumni who is actually working the Watch Board, because alumni are heavily involved again, so it's sister for life, and a housekeeper who was passed over for listening. There's like intrigue, there's like girls that in a rebellion to alumni, and what to come. So if you like, some southern fiction, Watch might be for you. All right. Well, next, it's another book called Rush, but it's a very different Rush. So this one is more like the show Greek that happened in the aughts, where it's usually Gossip Girl, like college Gossip Girl. Essentially, it's a group of fraternities and sorority members, freshmen, juniors, seniors, who are just trying to live it with life. Also, this is more of like the steamy, spicy, kind of like easy to consume, very addictive romance novel. It's well and limited. It's done it's more soap opera style. So there's a bunch of vignettes of different points of view of different members, and you just follow their story and they go. It's kind of like a TV show. So with this Rush, there's 5 books in the series, so it follows every year. But I think 4 or 5 years of the school. So it's a fun series complete. So if you'd like the show Greek, well, this book is for you. Carrie, we're now go into the nonfiction, because it's also like, it's a real truth. When you're talking about his life, it's the same thing that you're talking about. So the next one is Fletch by Alexander Lovin. This is from I think this came in the odds. Because I remember reading this and I was like, is this really true? This is what happens? Even though I was working on it. So it's actually Alexander Robin spent about a year living in the sorority house with other sororities. And I don't know if you remember, but back in the 2003, 2004, MTV had a show called Sorority Girl. Basically, it was like you spent a whole semester with these girls and like whether they're rushing, initiation, and becoming a sister. And it was fascinating. So this was like this was the type of media that the odds were providing us. And so Alexander basically showed out like, there's racism, there's like, eating disorders, there's drug use, all the negative things about Rush. Why do you want to be in a sorority? Like, what's the whole point? And I would say like, yes, bottom sets. Yes, the stereotypes are there. They do exist. But there's also the sense of belonging, the sense of community, the sense of like wanting to be part of something bigger, the networking opportunities. So that's one thing to look for. So this is mainly for Panhellenic sororities. So they're the mainstream sororities. So the Belief to the Lucy, the Love Fuck. This book is nonfiction from them from the early odds. So take it with a grain of salt. I don't know. Things will have changed. Things will have progressed. It's been almost 20 years. But sometimes it can be the same. The results are things you really understand. So, but that's Pledge, Old, Wise, Alexander Robbins. Now, we're going to talk about July 9 because that's actually like, there's other sororities and not historically Black fraternity sororities. There's 9 organizations called the Divine Nine. And then there's organizations that came afterwards, so the Divine Nine are the core organizations that build community among historical Black colleges and universities, but then it expanded to other universities and other places for this just to have a sense of belonging among Black students in college. Because a lot of them were first-generation students, were first-time going in, family did not understand what they were doing, and they needed something connections, they needed to build a network. So it's interesting to learn about the history. It's fascinating, like how each organization was founded, what was the reason, what kind of members they attract. And so this is very exciting. This is the 20th anniversary. I read it in the odds actually, and they were printed in 2019, so they updated. So there was new information. But it's interesting because we're actually like one of our presidential candidates is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha. And so understanding the power of not only just having her attend Howard University, but the power of for part of AKA and support that her sisterhood 40 years later, it's so rewarding for her. It's explained in this book. I think it's like one of those books that really to idea. There's definitely media that can tell you about the different stereotypes, different things, expectations. The organization that I'm part of, it's the first Latino sorority. And so a lot of our core values were replicated from the Divine Nine. One thing that's different from the mainstream organizations and the Divine Nine or the multiple organizations is that there's a strong need for service. While the mainstream organizations are philanthropy, which means fundraising, getting money, doing the Divine Nine, and a lot of their the multiple organizations that I advise were actually looking at community service. Giving back to the community, collecting among each other with the community, providing a place for a place of growth, a place of just putting yourself forward. And so it's different. And there is also a sisterhood for both, which also had Divine Nine and all organizations. They expect nearly alumni chapters. Like I joined as an adult. I did not join in the collegiate experience. I joined when I was 25, which was pretty normal. But if you think about it, the reason why I joined an organization at 25 was that I just moved to the city. I was in my young 20s, and I was like, I want to get back to the community, but I also want to make plans for to like me or who had similar interests or similar values. Also, it pushed me to join. And yes, I went through like a new initiation process. It was like 8 weeks of like learning about history, learning about like a lot of information. But it connected me with sisters that I still talk to 20 years later. I've been a sister for 18 years. It's just part of it. And it's still like, it still provides you a sense of networking. So that's a little spiel about Free Life. Also, if you have any questions, put it in the comments. If you have any specific things or specific media, when you're like into the spiritual or not, but put it in the comments. I'll reply that.
If you're looking for campus novels, we did a campus novel themed novel night. So yeah, we're really in that back to school vibe and spirit, and we will be continuing that the next novel night.
Thanks for joining me on this episode of the What to Read Next podcast. If you enjoy our bookish conversations and want more recommendations, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Also, head on over to the What to Read Next blog for a list of books mentioned in today's show. Happy reading!